We are about to go beaver trapping. Checking spots for beaver. Bane's first time. It's a big bog. Big swamp, big bog. Usually a couple beaver huts. Haven't been here about 5 years, so we'll see. Not even sure if the ice is thick enough, but we will find out. One thing about beaver trapping, definitely want to be safe. Even in the middle of the winter, the ice is thin, the beaver will move around so much and create little lanes that they leave the ice open, or they'll have a hole where they come in and out and they just maintain it all winter. I've fallen in many times and it's actually kind of sketchy, but with a dog that could even be worse. So you always check your ice, always tapping ahead of you. Okay, stay for a second. All right, we are on the edge of the bog. Right off the bat, I can see, move over off, you guys can see that, but there's a beaver hut. And it looks pretty active. You can see the water and the ice is kind of open around it. That's just one. I'm pretty sure I saw another one, but I can't see it from here. But yeah, they're pretty obvious when you find a beaver hut. Just saw a hawk too. Easy Bane. Check this spot out. Just check the ice. It's pretty thick. Still gonna be careful. This is a new beaver hut since I've been here. Last time I was here, there wasn't one there. And Bane, easy, stay. The other one's gone. So it just goes to show beaver huts will change yearly. Bane! Just did a hole. Ice is about 2.5, 3 inches. So still sketchy. We're not gonna set traps today, but we're just checking. I'm gonna try to get you guys a better look at this hut. Maybe we might even see a beaver. That water's open, so they've been moving. Let me get a closer look. All right. This is what you call an active beaver hut. The ice is open, they've been moving, so they're swimming there. They got a little lane here where the water's open there. And then they're swimming down probably to the end of the dam. There's a dam down there. So they're probably swimming to the dam to check it, and then they're coming back up. But yeah, this is active. That is, when you see open water like that, ice is really thin. I usually wouldn't get this close, but it's really shallow. I keep checking how deep it is with my stick. It's probably only 3 or 4 feet. So it's, you know, kind of dumb. If I fell in, it'd only be 3 or 4 feet that I'd fall in, but you never know. Some of these bogs have these weird drop-offs, or 10, 12 feet deep. But yeah, here we go. That's another. I mean, that's open water right there flowing. So I'm guessing that there's probably an entrance right there somewhere, and they're trying to keep that open. And there's a feed pile. So if you look, you get the hut, and all these little sticks poking out of the ice is their feed pile, which is where they store all their branches and fresh branches away for the winter. and they can run back and forth to it. It's like a stash or a winter fridge. So underneath that is full of sticks that they're just chewing away at. It's usually farther away. That's a really close feed pile. Usually they put it, 20, 30 feet away and they run back and forth to it. But essentially you just put a trap near the feed pile, near their hut. Maine state law, you can only be 10 feet. You gotta be 10 feet away, which really isn't that far, but I could set a trap right in this hole, or I would actually set it maybe one of the, this looks like a lane that they're swimming in. And if you can set it in one of their lanes or paths, they're just gonna swim right through it. They're gonna swim through a snare, or a lot of guys use kill traps, conibears. But I like to snare. They're lighter, they're easier, cheaper, and just as effective. But yeah, that is an active beaver hut for sure. Maybe I can get to the top side. Sometimes you get to the top and it's all melted and you can see steam or heat coming out. You know they're in there. Maybe we can get to the back side. I'll see if I can. This is the back side of that beaver hut. You can almost just tell how fresh the sticks are. The sticks are going to be really fresh. Sometimes you can tell if they've been sitting a while, they're old. I mean, that's still fresh mud, fresh sticks. The snow's covering it, but you can tell it's fresh. I mean, you can even get up there sometimes and see the sticks still gnawed on and green, or they just don't look old or weathered. But we are coming back for this one. There's one more I'm going to check out. I couldn't get to the other side, it's too sketchy. But we know they're here, and we're going to see if there's more. Okay, coming up to another one. I forget how fast you can travel on ice. It always looks farther away, but once you're on the ice, it's really not that far. It's another beaver hut, same spot, just farther down the bog. This one is a little more frozen around it, so it kind of looks a little more inactive. I'm going to just show you. Climb up to the top here. You can just see some of the sticks are older, not as fresh. And I always go to the top, pick it out. And you can tell there'll be a hollow spot, or it'll be warm. And it's already like hollow right there. Now beaver's never going to be that close. Their feet down in there, so I mean, it's not like they're going to bite you or anything, but sometimes you can feel warmth. It's not really that warm. I did find a little hole though. So one thing, when you first show up to a beaver hut, you want to walk around it and see where they're running. It's kind of like a road. They'll make a road where they're going to swim in and out of. There's usually 2 or 3. It's either an exit or an in, or a side door, however you want to think about it. And I always just walk around with a stick and poke. And the ice is way thicker over here, but in this one spot, I went right in. So I know there's something, they're running there, and that used to be an old hole that they were poking at. It's too close to set to the hut. I gotta be about 10 feet back, but sometimes you can see bubbles in the ice. And bring a shovel out, and they'll blow bubbles. I mean, they gotta hold their breath, so they'll blow bubbles and they'll freeze in the ice. You'll see little ice trails. It's pretty cool. Early season when there's no snow and it's thick ice. It's all clear. I've seen bubble lines go for feet. It's pretty cool. We got snow, so I think that one's a no. We might check it out, but it looks pretty inactive. They will just build a hut and ditch it and go to where everyone else is. It's warmer, especially in the winter. They'll group up, get a family or 2 of beavers that will all just shack up for the winter, for the warmth, the food. And they'll just ditch their hut, maybe come back in the summer, rebuild it, tear it down. Like I said, I was here 5 years ago, and These were not here. These are new huts. And the old ones are gone, which is pretty wild. There used to be a huge one right over here. Just makes you wonder how that works, or what, they tear it down themselves, or the Mother Nature does it. But we're about done scouting. We're gonna check a couple more spots. Beans all over that beaver hut, which might be a good sign. Maybe he's still smelling something. I know guys that will bring hounds out, and they'll bring their hound out just to sniff out a beaver, and they can smell it through the ice. That's what they told me. They can, if it's close enough or there's enough of them, a hound dog can smell a beaver through the ice and at least locate them and tell you that they're there, or you know that they're not there. But Bane's kind of doing that too. I don't know. He just peed on it. Let's go and check out the rest of the bog. See, this is the old hut. When I was here last, about 5 years ago, this was huge. This thing was probably 7 feet tall. You can see how big it was. And I don't know if they just tear it down themselves. I'm guessing you got to maintain it. I think if they don't maintain it, it just kind of falls apart. They'll put mud, they'll put weeds in it. But that is an old beaver hut that just is flattened. I doubt there's anything here. But I say that, and when I get traps and I come back, I always set a couple, just kind of curiosity. You never know. I do remember there being some really cool trees chewed up. See if I can show you guys some really cool. I don't know if they're still active over here, but I'm gonna try to find you a really cool beaver tree. See what I mean. Hey guys, I just want to show you. Just walking the shoreline. That's sometimes an easy thing to do too. Just walk the shoreline, look for beaver sign, do like a perimeter check. I think I see another hut, by the way. And with that, you might find something. See how that snow is just kind of bare right there? And there's a little open water. That's definitely a beaver access way, or a run, where they're running to shore and they're running back. I know that because it's not flowing water. There's no river here. There's nothing, but they are running back and forth through here. I just poked the ice and it just fell right through. So that's the other thing. You got to be really, really careful, because the beavers will make these highways and you could just fall right in it. I mean, I didn't even see that one. I saw this first. I saw this thing first, but I can't tell you how many times I fell in. And luckily I was prepared and it wasn't deep. But you know, if you got a kid or your dog or someone not paying attention, Bane, hey, wow, he's gonna walk right in. You just gotta be careful. I'm gonna check it out and show you more. So, since we walked around the whole bog, I was able to get to the back side of that first hut, the really active one. Easy, Bane. Bane, sit. Stay. Stay, Bane. I'm gonna show you. It's weird how the backside's frozen solid. I mean, there's way more ice on the backside, but the front I don't even dare walk on. So you can tell that, I mean, that's where they're flowing. That's their activity. There might be a run back here. If I, shoveled, might see some bubbles or something. But for the most part, they're running in and out of the front. And see how fresh this stick is? And it's almost white. They just like debarked that this fall or something, or late summer. And it's just not an old stick. In the mud, that's the other thing you notice. The mud is just fresh. It looks like someone did this, last fall. Hasn't been sitting for a year or two. So I am gonna poke around, see if there's a run on the back now that we're here. And I might crawl up to the top, but I don't really need to because I know it's active. But I'm curious if there's a run. See if I can show you one with bubbles. Okay, we're gonna be quick because Bane's getting cold. He fell in and he is getting cold. He's getting antsy. But I did chisel a hole. It's definitely thin right here. But I want to show you something. When you find a run, watch my stick. I thought it was here. Whoa. Just went down like 3 extra feet. So that's the run. It's over here. It'll be deeper. It's always deeper where they're running back and forth. They want room. They don't want the shallow. So really the run's probably right here. And it's probably way deeper. Ooh. Sketchy. The ice is cracking. Bane's walking near me. Bane, get back. Yeah, way deeper. So I would call that the run. Bane, easy. Get over here. Yeah, we're gonna go. Someone's getting antsy. But yeah, I mean, I've located them. Know where they're at. State law is 10 feet away. I have brought a tape measure. I usually walk with my feet and just add a, extra foot or two. You don't have to be that close. It's follow the law. 10 feet's like right here. So I mean, once you find the run, there's no law on what you do. You can set a snare here. I would probably, since we know it's to the right, probably gonna set a snare right here. Right here. Wherever 10 feet is. I mean, you want to be close. The closer the better, but still within the law. And then we'll probably set one over there. I see a huge bubble, which I'm guessing they might have been popping up right there. Or that's probably their front run. So, and it might sound sketchy, but sometimes I jump up on the hut and you can reach down over here in these areas and poke. You don't have to be on that ice and you can find a run. You can still locate, come back later, which I actually might do. But yeah, I don't recommend, if it looks sketchy, don't walk on it. I mean, you fall in, you're alone, you get cold, I don't know how far out you are. Anything. I mean, a lot of these are rivers. Sometimes they're flowing. Sometimes it's muddy. I fell in one time and it was like suction cup to my feet, mud, stuck in the mud. So you get all your gear on, a jacket and overalls or whatever. It's no joke. People think beaver trapping is just kind of whatever, but it's pretty dangerous among all the trapping. You could die. You could fall on the ice and drown or freeze or hypothermia. I mean, especially a kid. I always worry about kids. You know, if you're gonna bring kid beaver trapping, or they're gonna go out and play near a beaver hut, you should understand how dangerous that is. I mean, a little kid falls in a hole. It's not a good thing. So we're gonna just hop on the hut real quick, see if I can check the front, because I'm just curious while I'm here. Kind of excited to come back. I think that's it. We'll call it a day. We might go check one more spot out. It's about 1:30 where I'm at. Kind of a cloudy, overcast day. And I like it. There isn't one. Just going to show you the feed pile. You can tell it's been chewed at and chunked away. Half of that's under the ice. It's pretty cool when you see them under the ice. Just a bunch of branches and sticks hanging from the ice. And what they're doing, they're swimming out here. You can see the ice. You can and there's little branches in there. See the little branches? That's under the ice that they're carrying with them, either in their mouth or on the way home. And what they'll do is they'll loop out around their feed pile. Grab something to eat, you know, they'll grab it here, grab it there, loop back. I don't know where they're looping back. It's usually a loop. Sometimes they'll just go out and come back. And the more I look at it, I think it does a Y. I think it goes like this, over to this, my other one, and then something here. But yeah, they'll loop out to their food pile, loop back around. Probably over here, looks like another one. Kind of like 2 feed piles going, so maybe they're coming in the middle. I just poked and it's pretty soft, but when the ice gets cloudy like this, it's really tough to tell where they're actually running. You almost just have to look back and see the color of the ice and the stains on the ice. The branches, that is a telltale sign. I mean, I just noticed those. You got a couple branches just chilling under the ice that are white. They just chewed it. That's probably a week or 2 old. They just chewed it, left it, they ditched it out their shack. And I think this is an old hole they were coming up. I bet if I go poke that, that's something. But we're gonna come back. We're gonna go check another spot. And I might drop this butthead off because he is not having it. The whole sitting still and not following me part. He doesn't like that. Oh yeah, Anna, I'm on the top of the hut. And you can see how fresh that stick is. That was, you know, probably a month ago or 2 months ago. It's not old, it's not weathered. I mean, they stripped the bark right off. It's actually kind of cool. That's a fresh stick. Be a great bait stick too. Sometimes that works good for bait. People don't think it, but I usually use poplar, that green, that neon green. I can show you that too. I don't have a knife on me, but yeah, to stick an old stick back in, it actually works as bait sometimes. That pops. Anything under the water that looks new, I know that doesn't look new, but it's almost a color thing. Just heard a weird noise. Bunch of birds on this lake. Hawks and blue jays. Bane, stay. Bane, stay. I'm coming. Seen all kinds of coyote traps. Bane, no! Yeah, just walk into the ice. This lake has got all kinds of activity as far as wildlife. I mean, this pond, this bog. I can't tell you how many coyote tracks I've seen. I saw bobcat tracks one year pull a beaver out. I could see where it had pulled a beaver out of a hole or caught it on the ice and dragged it like 100 feet. Fox tracks, and then the birds. All kinds of wildlife as far as birds and whatnot. This looks like another little hut. Sometimes they're muskrat huts. Sometimes they're little beaver, you know, youngling beaver starting out. There is ice near it. Might check that out, but when they're that small, I mean, it only makes sense what size beaver is going to fit in there, how many are going to be in there. You know, you're not going to catch 5 big beavers out of that. You might catch a couple, I think they call them kits or younglings, whatever, but you might catch a couple. We'll see. When you're here with traps and all your gear, everything's different. You know, you set up, you already got your stuff, so it's like a might as well thing. Might as well try this, might as well try that. And, you know, sometimes you see what works, see what doesn't. And was doing stuff that was just so pointless, so much wasted time, wasted areas, not locating them, going out on a guess, and just, you gotta locate them. You have to find them first, find sign, find dams. You know, there's a lot of bogs out here and ponds, especially in Maine, where there's beaver sign, but they're not even in there. Someone trapped them out, they died off, coyotes got them. There's nothing to see a bunch of abandoned huts on an old bog. It's actually pretty common. So just because you see a hut or someone has seen a hut doesn't always mean there's beavers. And you don't know who has been there recently. I've showed up to spots that looked good in the summer and they've already been trapped when I get there. So all depends where you go, who you know, who you tell. Don't tell too many people your spots. I know that sounds obvious, but it can be exciting, or bring someone with you. You tell them where you caught one and they can just kind of guess the area. But we're gonna come back a couple days, I think Tuesday. Today's Sunday. I'll let the ice freeze up more. And definitely at least set half a dozen traps, half a dozen snares. Here's my shovel. The cool thing about fresh snow is you know where you came in and out, you know what ice is safe, you can just follow yourself back. Bane does it. If he sees his tracks, he's just following himself back. Just fell in up to my knee. Poop water. Ugh. That's the other thing I want to mention. Beavers are gross. They poop and eat in their water. So there is parasites. There is Giardia. And you do not touch your lips or your mouth. Even when you're chiseling ice, I've noticed that ice can hit you in the face. It's not like deadly and contagious, but it's a parasite. And don't be, eating while you're beaver trapping. Don't be drinking the water. Don't be, doing anything stupid, licking your fingers or whatever. It's weird to say, but you'd be surprised. Licking your lips after the ice hits it or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna cut to the top.